Hi, very good afternoon to you. It's June from maverickstar Observatory. We're going to have a look at Earth-self at a glance, where we have a look at the volcanoes, the amount of CO2 in our atmosphere, oxygen, things like that, very shortly. But before we do, huge thanks to the few people that support us. I'll give you just an example of, sometimes how poor things can get. Yesterday, over 4,000 people, tuned in to watch our video yesterday on YouTube, and just one person donated less than £5. Just want to say, we cannot run any observatory in that manner, and it does require a few more people stepping up to the line. It was probably the worst day I've seen for a long time here at the observatory, where we've raised so little yet tried to do so much. I want to give you an example of just what we're doing here. Let's have a look at some of the data that we've collected this morning. This involves a lot of equipment here, a lot of equipment that most people don't have. I can't imagine why they would want it unless they was, an observatory studying the things that we've got. But look at the CO2 at 424 parts per million. If you go over to the website Pole Shift News and have a look in the archive, something should stand out clearly. CO2 is beginning to drop, and has done so over the last 12 months. Can you believe that? I believe that the mainstream scientific organisations, the meteorological department, should be coming out and screaming this, because this is good news. But it shouldn't come as any surprise that the CO2 has begun to drop, because we are likely 6,000 to 8,000 years into the Milankovitch cycle, which is where our orbit changes from a spherical orbit around our sun to an elliptical orbit. And what that does is change the temperature in favour of a glacial period. And we've got 10 years solid record now. If you go over to Pole Shift News, look at Arctic sea ice content, and you'll see that we've got 10 years showing that sea ice in the in the Arctic Circle is rebounding. Has rebounded over 2 million square kilometres. This is an area the size of Europe, also incorporating England and Ireland in that region, to give you an idea of how big it is. And not one mainstream media outlet has commented on the ice or is saying anything about the CO2 that is dropping. It's because it doesn't fall in line with their agenda to destroy industries and rape more taxes off the public around the world. Let me tell you now, the reason why we are in such a state is for two reasons. We have a lot of corrupt, greedy individuals that have no self-control over greed. And two, we have too many people that can't be bothered to get off their arses and do something about it. And I'm going to have a little bit of a rant here. You know what? It's not just that they can't be bothered to do something about it themselves, it's that they are failing terribly, absolutely failing terribly, to even support people that are prepared to do something. Is it any wonder that we are where we are right now on this road that we're on? I've said this before, if you can't be bothered to do something about it, then help somebody that is. I do believe that this information that we share on this channel is saving lives. It helps other people with their conscience, in knowing that CO2 is falling. Look at the proof we're putting before you. We've got an archive of nearly 2-3 years now of CO2. Have a look for yourselves. I've seen them numbers way higher than that. The CO2 is falling, and not one mainstream organisation is mentioning it. The temperatures on our planet are not getting warmer. They're going the other opposite direction. It's 180 degrees from that direction. It's going colder. And it shouldn't come as any surprise. We've got over 1,000,000 years worth of records of interglacial and glacial periods. It shouldn't come as any surprise that when we are well into another glacial period, 6 to 8,000 years into it, that the temperatures are going to drop on the planet. We all know Al Gore is a fraud. He should give back that Nobel Prize, and he should go and put himself in jail, because he promised no ice by 2014. He also said that children in this world would never know or experience snowfall. Can you believe this? Things will never ever get any better on this planet, ever, if we decide not to do nothing about them. The only way we can make changes is by taking action. They want you to feel powerless. They want you to feel like you have no control over anything. If you try, you'll probably say, oh, they'll rig it anyhow. 8 billion souls on this earth, and they're all under hypnosis. They think that they're powerless. Couldn't be any further away from the truth. Is that the truth is that the populace of this world holds all the power. It just chooses to be passive, lazy, can't be bothered. Anyhow, we've got the oxygen there, 20.08 healthy supply of oxygen. 20% of our atmosphere is oxygen. There's the latitude and longitude of the magnetic North Pole, taken last month. We'll be doing it again tomorrow. It's the busiest day of the observatory. We do a lot of calculations here. We pop out the SD cards out of the Trimax system, another piece of equipment that we have, along with CO2 detectors, atmospheric oxygen detectors, radiation monitors. We've got a lot of equipment here, and we're providing a service for people. 20,000 people a week visit the website. It's shocking. £4.50 is what we raised yesterday. The radiation background is normal, 0.16 microsieverts. Volcanoes in eruption. If you're worried that the old world's volcanoes are erupting, they're not. It's standard. We have usually around 25 volcanoes every week in eruption. I think that that's the way to monitor them. Not the ones that are showing signs of eruptions. I'm talking about the ones that are actually in eruption. That can go up to 26, 27 sometimes. That's normal. Nothing alarming there. There's your largest earthquake. The muons per hour per square metre in the UK are at 548. In Canada, 954. Sunspot numbers are at 4. It's good to see some activity. Remember, the more activity we see on the sun, the more inflation we get at the heliosphere. Blocks out those incoming galactic and intergalactic cosmic rays, and we need that at the moment with the weakening magnetosphere. The geomagnetic field is quiet, and solar X-rays are normal, and as you know, the jet streams are unstable and becoming more unstable as time ticks on. So that's the Earth Alpha at a glance. There's a lot of people that are concerned about all those things that we monitor here. It just would be great if we could see a few more people do something. I know that that this world is corrupt, but why the hell are we all standing around allowing it to happen? This is a global, organised mafia operation taking place. They don't care about life. They've showed us that by encouraging what's going on in Ukraine right now. There would be, if that war never started in February, there would be over 100,000 more people in this world. And it's not just the people that have lost their lives, it's the effects it's had on their loved ones. So if it's just 100,000 that died, you can guarantee over 1 million people are feeling the pain of that. And You know, that's setting aside all the climatic events that are taking place. You know, this winter's going to be bad. A lot of people are going to be displaced. People are going to die. And it's not a time to sit back and do nothing. What do we have? Around 5 months. You know, we're looking at March. As we get closer to that 40-degree mark, as the North Pole tracks closer to that 40-degree mark, what, we got 5 months left. Whether I'm right or wrong, it will not bother me one iota. I guarantee you that. You know, I absolutely hope I'm wrong, because the last thing we want is a rapid increase in the climatic changes that we are experiencing currently. And, you know, they're going to keep you more occupied with different things, and they're trying harder. They're like children. You know what? We need to get their attention. We need to get the attention of the mainstream public. What we're going to do? Oh, let's throw a pandemic out there. You know, a global pandemic. We can have that on the headlines every day. That stops people thinking about the fact that they're running around the world, running around that rat wheel 5 times faster than there was last year. You think it was a joke when I said to you, your children are going to go to work for you so that you can keep your house going? Have you not seen the trend over the last 30 years? You know, the regular household used to have one person bringing an income, and that'd be enough for not just to pay the bills, but also for that, those activities outside normal runnings of houses. You know, like going to pictures, going for a meal, you know, treating the kids to a holiday. All those are going to go by the by if you keep sitting there doing nothing about them. If you keep feeling, you know, powerless, because they're squeezing the life out of everybody at the moment with the constant increases of bills. They knew exactly what they was doing when they put the energy prices up. They put the cost of everything up. You know, the sad fact is, if you strip it all back down to the basics, you know, you cannot go crying to whatever God you believe in, saying that you have not got something in this world, because I doubt you'll listen. Because humans have done it to themselves. Every resource that you could possibly want is on this earth. It's just that humans have barred each other from it. And these greedy little rats at the trough, feeding constantly on the public pocket, are getting away with scot-free murder. Promises after promises. You know, we got another Prime Minister in this UK, the 3rd Prime Minister this year. You know, we've had 4 Chancellors this year. They've had a look at the books. They know that the public purse has been squeezed dry. They know it's a catastrophe. And they know that it's their failings to pre-act to prevent such an event that is taking place right now. Failing to invest in new businesses has led to a drop in the GDP right now. And that's if you believe, you know, what they're saying to start with. Yeah, you know, I could go on, guys. You know, I've done my job, and I'll do my job tomorrow for you. Let's just hope that, you know, people realise that, you know, you can't run an observatory on £4.50. It is, I hate to say, a shameful effort. Over 4,000 people, and out of those 4,000 people, just one person chips in a few bucks for the observatory. It's outstanding. Guys, take care of your loved ones. I'll say what I usually do. Bye for now.